Hello, it's Graham Norris with eXp Realty, and it's Coffee with Graham time. So good it's Friday, isn't it? It's the end of the week. I hope you've had a good week. And today we're going to imagine that I've helped you find your dream home, and we're celebrating. And we'll sit down now and we'll talk about what happens next. So the first thing I'm going to do is make a phone call to a home inspector and arrange that to be done within the next 2 or 3 business days. We are on a very tight timetable, typically 2 weeks. So to the first 2 or 3 days is going to probably be booked. I like to choose a home inspector that can do the termite inspection as well and get that done. Now, the purpose of the home inspection is to rule out any big surprises. That's the last thing we want. And maybe there's something about the property that we don't know about, and that it's actually a deal breaker. You don't want to buy a property that's got something very seriously wrong with it, or you don't have the finance to actually get it fixed. So the home inspector will protect you from that. Also, anything that's less catastrophic, shall we say, could be negotiation points with the seller if they're serious enough. Obviously, if there's tiny little things, then you're not going to worry about that. Every home inspection is going to reveal a whole host of things that are wrong with the property. That's absolutely normal and very typical. And these reports can go anywhere from 30 to 50 pages, so do not let that frighten you. With a home inspection report, there's critical items that need to be fixed right away. There's recommended items that need to be fixed within the next, there's some immediacy, and then there's longer term things that recommend that need to be done. Maybe something's worn out and it needs to be replaced, within the next year or so. So he'll lay out his report like that, and so you'll be clear as what needs to be done right away. Then when we look through the reports, we can decide what we want the seller to do before the house closes, before we get the keys. So we would write those down, and then we would go through a renegotiation phase. And typically we can ask the seller to get all those items fixed, or maybe we can renegotiate the price if the seller doesn't want to fix those. So there's an opportunity there to have things adjusted so the purchase is more comfortable. Now, the first thing that you want to do once we've parted company from the celebration, as it were, is to talk to your lender. They'll have a bullet point list of things that they require from you, and this phase is where he's going to gather all the information he needs to process your application for the loan. If it's a conventional loan, typically the lender, once he's finished gathering all the information and formulating it and formatting it for the underwriter, will then order an appraisal. And this typically is for the bank to find out, or the lender, whoever the lender is, find out if the loan makes sense. So they want to find out how much the home is worth, because they're going to lend 80% of that home, and they want to see that value. So an appraiser goes out to the home and works out how much that home is really worth. Because don't forget that your offer doesn't mean the home is worth that much money. And you could be offering more money than the home is actually worth. So that's what happens. And when the appraisal is done, that's usually then underwriting gets to work. They do all the number crunching, and then the loan gets either denied or approved according to the appraisal. You will have access to the appraisal, which is very good because you'll see exactly the square footage and things like that. Sometimes that square footage is taken from a previous sale or from the county records and isn't always accurate. So that's an important point to note. Various other things, of course, on your end is getting things organized, like the moving van. I would order that fairly early as well, because you never know. You don't want to be scrambling around at the end of the day trying to find a way of moving all your furniture. Or if you're booking a company, you need to give them enough notice. And of course, getting things packed away. There's a whole host of other little things we can go over some other time, but those are the main items we need to consider. Is the home inspection and the appraisal is the main hurdles that we jump over during the buying process. But what a happy day it is when I give you the keys at closing, and video has prompted you to want to find your dream home, and I'll be delighted to assist you, of course. If you need that help, just reach out to me on 865-405-7947. That's 865-405-7947, or put a comment below and ask me some questions. Be delighted to assist you. Have a great day.